Yes. Okay. interactive type of session where in the name of panel discussion, some questions will be asked from the panelists, and then we will try to come to some point or some recommendation from this workshop on that basis. So for the panelists, so I will request from the representative of PEDA, Shri Rajesh Bansalji, and from Punjab Water Resources Authority, Shri Rajesh Basishji, and from Punjab Water Resources Development and Management Corporation or Irrigation Department, Shri Pavan Kapoor. Okay. So now from the NGO, Dr. S.S. Grewal sir. And from Water Resources Department of Punjab, Shri Manoj Bansal, Engineer Manoj Bansal. And from CGWB representation, Amandeep Kaur. And from Jyoti Foundation, Shri Ajit Bara. हाँ एक चेक होगा 6, 7 So all the panelists are seated now. So focusing on the title of this workshop, that is assessing the impact of solar powered irrigation on groundwater resources in southwest Punjab. So first we should know what are the groundwater resources which are mainly used for the irrigation in the south west Punjab. So first it is not the sequencing questions, but I will request because first this is a base question which I will request Ms. Amandeep Kaur to answer this question. So just it is not a question, it is just to request to her to apprise the gathering about the water resources, mainly groundwater resources in the southwest Punjab. So Ms. Amandeep Kaur.
Good afternoon everyone. It's still morning. Good morning. So as all of us know that in southwest Punjab we are having abundance of water, but the quality is like not up to the mark. But here we will be discussing more about how to extract the water by the use of solar pumps. As already told by sir that it's more or less that in the winter season the extraction is less as compared to the paddy season. But sir, my question to you is that if we go on installing so much of solar pumps and connecting them with the grid, but in the summer season we are already having so much of sun, so solar radiance will be so much in that time, so will it gonna affect our grid system? Because so much electricity will be generated during that time, and already during that time we used to release so much of energy in the grid lines. So it will, I think it will affect our grid system if we connect that directly with the grids.
I will request Sri Bansal ji to answer this question because
Basically, in Punjab, major thrust is on component B, which is standalone pumps, which are standalone pumps, and the grid pumps are not connected to grid. The maximum electricity generation comes at around 35 degrees centigrade from solar module. In summer, the module temperature goes around 70 degrees centigrade, and with the increase in module temperature, the generation also affects. But due to higher hours of sun available in sun, definitely there is some increase in the energy, but not to the extent as it is available in the month of, say, in the month of October, March or April. Because the temperature is much lower than that of in the month of May, June, July.
So the problem, grid connecting with grid is easier said than done, because in Punjab we have separate feeders for agriculture supply, and if we have to go for grid connected pumps, agriculture supply is for 8 hours a day, and if we have to go for grid connected pumps, you have to keep that grid or feeder on for 24 hours. And if we have 500 electric connections under a particular feeder or grid, and if only 5 or 10 people go for solar pump sets, it means we have to keep that grid on, keep that feeder on for those 10 persons. You can well imagine the operation and maintenance costs for keeping that feeder on for 24 hours. It is possible in some of the states which don't have separate agriculture feeders, which have same feeders that are kept on for 24 hours. But in state like Punjab, actually, Government of India has a policy wherein all the states have to go for separate agriculture feeders. So grid connected pumps are easier said than done, as Mr. Bansal has said, that we are going for component B, which is standalone pumps. That is why it is difficult to go for grid connected pumps in agriculture.
We had a pilot project at component C1, where the grid connected pumps are converted into solar pumps. But due to free power in Punjab, agriculture free power in Punjab, the farmers are not coming forward. We had a scheme launched in 30 feeders, in a Pirkot feeder in Bhatinda district, Sadowal in Sangrur, and Kurali feeder in SAS Nagar. But only till now, 13 farmers had come forward and deposited their 10% share.
Suppose all the farmers they go for pumps, only then grid connection is visible, otherwise it is not.
The major problem is, I think, free agriculture power.
I'll supplement Dilno's viewpoint, because agriculture feeders are separated out, except for few feeders in Kandi, which are combined for domestic as well as agriculture sector. So those feeders run for 24 hours in Kandi. So that is why in Kandi, certain areas, submountaneous Shivaliks, certain tube wells or agriculture pump sets are getting 24-hour power. But rest of the Punjab, all the agriculture feeders are separated out. The power supply is given in 3 cycles. One cycle starts from the morning, say from 8 a.m. till 8 hours for that. Then second starts during the afternoon to evening, and then one cycle is during the night period. So in case we do not go for feeder based solarization, this won't succeed. So feeder based solarization is very important, but for that there are bottlenecks, as Mr. Bansal has told. Farmers have to replace their pumps, and most of the pumps are not very efficient. You need star rated pumps, so farmers have to spend something. So they are not willing, although they are trying to pilot on 3 feeders by giving 90% subsidy and 10%, but even farmers are not willing to part with 10% subsidy, which Department of Soil and Water Conservation is running. So it brings in high irrigation efficiency here the power efficiency will be very high. So, but I think state needs to review the policy, and I think the only solution which I foresee is the solarization at the feeder level, coupled with smart technologies. Because when solar power is available during the day, in case the feeder is continuously powered when the sunlight is available, there are all the chances of extraction of groundwater on a higher scale. So automation has to come in along with that. So smart technologies have to be built in this scheme. So this scheme has to be like kind of redrafted. We need to go back to the drawing board, redraft this scheme. All these stakeholders like PSPCL, PEDA, the groundwater, the main specialized peoples, the scientists, they need to sit together and brainstorm and then come up with a practical scheme. Thank you.
We are also planning grid connected agriculture pumps on feeder level solar, for feeder level solarization. 333 number agriculture feeder has been identified, and we have identified for solarizing these grids, agriculture grid. We have planned around 85 number solar power plant of capacity 4 each at these grids, agriculture grids, from 333 number. Most probably next month the RFP will be out, and we expect that there will be a good participation from the vendor. We have failed miserably in the last bid. Actually, we had received number of bids for that, and the bidder had quoted a low bid that will be around ₹36. But after uste sanu काफी कुछ सुनना पिया, they directed us to go without any CFA, and we are
waterlogging issue, but as per our data we have seen that in last 5 to 7 years the water level has started declining. It has reached nearly 8 to 9 meters. So my point is that when we implement this solar powered irrigation, so there will be, whenever there will be sunlight, there will be electricity will be available to them, so they will be extracting more.
Actually, it was basmati.
What is the aim of that one? Solar pumps, main aim is to save electricity or to extract the water from the southwest area where the water level is increasing. If water level is increasing,
Is getting damaged, no?
soil is something they can comment much better on that.
सर मैं इसे ऐड करूँगा इवन जे ज़्यादा इरीगेशन करांगे तब ਜਿਹੜੀ वाटर लॉगिंग हैगी है
हो ज़्यादा increase हो
ਵਧੂਗੀ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਟੌਪ ਸੋਇਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਕਲੇਈ ਸੋਇਲ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਨੀਚੇ ਤਾਂ ਜਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਿਹਾ
ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ
6-8 ਘੰਟੇ ਦੀ ਬਜਾਏ ਜੇ ਵੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਟੋਟਲ ਡੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਸਾਰੀ ਅਵੇਲੇਬਿਲਟੀ ਹੋਏਗੀ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਉੱਪਰਲੀ ਸੋਇਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਈਵਨ ਇਨ ਡੈਮੇਜ
ਸਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਯੂ ਜਸਟ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਆਨ ਦਸ ਥਿੰਗਸ
most of the area ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਵਾਟਰ ਲੌਗ ਦਾ most of the ਮੋਕਸਰ area 2 times paddy ਸਰਤਾ ਝੋਨਾ ਹੀ ਪਿਆ
ਹਾਂ ਸਰ ਠੀਕ ਹਾਂ ਦੋ ਪੈੜੀ ਹਾਂ ਯੈਸ. So we can't stop, I think, the farmers not to grow this because everybody wants to smile and I am going this and want to have a money.
So it's their bread and butter. We
Yeah.
can't stop that. But sir, my question is like we used to calculate resources every year. So if we shift the pumps from diesel or electrical to solar, that's a good thing. Like we are conserving electricity. But as it is now not connected to our grid, so they are extracting that water is being extracted. So how we will account that into our resources? Is there way to calculate that draft? How that electricity will be accounted, because there are no meters and all near the solar pumps.
When the electricity is free, then what is the necessity to install meters then? Nobody wants.
Sir, we should talk about the IoT devices that
IoT
we have to
devices.
rethink and reframe the policy in terms of using some technology.
It's money intensive, na? Farmers.
Supply that it is available only in certain part. Supply that it is available only in certain part of the day. Factor which is applied to it.
Sir, I have been to Hisar and I have seen that in a farm of like 4 acres land, they have installed 2 solar pumps. And when I asked that person why you have installed 2 solar pumps, he said, जब एक तरफ में मेरा ज़्यादा इलेक्ट्रिसिटी होता है तो उसको सेव करता हूँ, और दूसरे का जब ख़त्म होता है तब इसका यूज़ करता हूँ. तो जब भी मेरे को झोना लगाना है, पैडी लगानी है, तो मुझे नीड नहीं है कि मुझे देखना है कि मेरा जो है वो फ्लड हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा. कॉन्टीन्यूस वाटर मैं छोड़ रहा हूँ. ही इज़ लाइक 18 आवर्स अ डे वो छोड़ के रख रहा है पानी.
The problem will be there when there will be a paddy crop. So suppose we are farmer.
हिसार,
Hisar.
नियर बरवाला, हरियाणा.
Suppose we are a farmer, we have a land and we are farmer, and what we'll see, we just want to have a crop. So we'll not say what is the situation of water in that area or that one, just I want water and I want paddy.
Most of the areas southwest Punjab canal water. Mostly.
But sir, I have seen so many farmers using their own pumps. They simply said कि हफ्ते में 2 दिन भी नहीं पानी आता पूरा, तो उसकी कौन वेट करेगा? We flood our farms with the tube wells.
वो तो है ना, the data required in a paddy crop is much more.
Recent अभी आज भी मेरी एक बजे है, पानी खुला जा रहा है, टेलेंट्स पे पानी पहुंचा हुआ है, उनको ये बोल रहे हैं कि आप पानी यूज कर लो, अभी भी पहुंचा हुआ है. वो कहते थे कौन सी क्रॉप है किसके लिए चाहिए तभी मिल जाएगा. मानसा साहब को कौन मालूम नहीं जा रहा है. एग्रीकल्चर डिपार्टमेंट को तो ये बोला जा रहा है कि अगर कोई फ्लड आ गया, कनाल टूट गई, तो आपका रीजन होगा. हमने कनाल में फुल छोड़ा हुआ है पानी. आज ही चिट्ठी आई है, कनाल वाटर तो यूज हो रहा है, कनाल वाटर इतना जा रहा है सॉफ्ट पंजाब में.
But sir, they are using more pumps also.
No, but we have, whenever we visit that, we always see the groundwater being used.
वहाँ पे है, यहाँ पे कनाल वाटर नहीं जा रहा.
19 धरती पे तो कर ही नहीं सकता.
नहीं एक्चुअली पता क्या है, what is there for the paddy crop.
पंजाब गवर्नमेंट का अभी ये स्नैनिंग कर रहा है, वो कहते कहीं भी वो कनाल वाटर वहाँ पे पहुँचेगा.
वो है
डेल्टा नहीं है ना, वो नहीं मिलता.
data required for the paddy crop is much more. This cannot be fed only on the canal water. So canal water, groundwater is to be supplemented with the canal water. So to grow paddy.
The issue Kapoor Sahib, is that all the tube wells are fitted with auto starters. Number one. You see, it is human tendency to be lazy. So the farmer doesn't visit the field. The moment there is power on the feeder, the tube wells automatically start. Now the power corporation faces this problem because on an average on each feeder there are 150. So all these tube wells are fitted, nearly 100% are fitted with auto starters. So the moment power is there, all these pumps start. So whether water is required or not, it is irrigating. So
that also, sorry sir, but that also the factor there again is that the farmer is also apprehensive that if I don't supply the water now because of the intermittent supply, sometimes they are not aware whether they will be getting supply when it is required or not. So whenever supply is available, they invariably go in for flooding.
since last few years, 12 to 14 hours of power supply was there, and I shared one video. It is flooded. It is flooded and the motor is running, and the pump house is locked. A farmer went to that to switch it off, but it was locked. So he called the farmer, the owner, and he said, "Ki it's all flooded. Your fields are full, and your motor is running." He said, "I cannot come."
There was
Let
another
it run.
video that we saw last year, and perhaps you only showed me, where it was raining heavily and the
Motor was on.
motor was on.
Okay, thank you.
So, thank you, Aman. Now I will request. So, where do you see the social acceptability of these solar powered irrigation pumps in the southwest Punjab?
Good afternoon, everyone. I represent Jyoti Foundation. It's a non-profit, and we work in Southwest Punjab in providing access to safe drinking water. As a non-profit, we look at various problems related to water in that region. We also work with areas that get flooded, areas in Fazilka, Jalalabad. and we deal with multiple issues related to water there. And I've been as we move through this conversation, it is a very proactive measure to move to PV. We do decrease the environmental impact, in my opinion, to a great extent with this technology. But certain key issues, which I would like to ask the panelists and the audience as well, also come up. I think the earlier speaker, Amandeep ji, also pressed on some of these issues, and I'll also shed some light on these issues. The major concern that comes with solar powered tube wells is the concern of over abstraction, right? The excess use of water, as everybody earlier also right now also mentioned. I see there are farms that have traditional motors powered through the feeders, the grids, and on top of that they have, through the Kusum scheme, also the solar powered tube wells, right? So and those tube wells, as and when we go to the farms, are always running, especially the solar powered ones, whether there is need or there is a lesser need, whether we grow paddy or whether it is a wheat season. Generally, whenever there is fair amount of sunlight and there is a charge in the batteries, those tube wells are running. So there has to be some control mechanism, in my opinion, which controls the usage of that water. For example, if we use the traditional system of electricity, there was a control of a number of hours that you would get electricity for. So that is, basically a control in hands of the authorities and the hands of the regulatory authorities on how many hours and in what season do you want those pumps to run. But when we speak about solar powered solar pumps, no one has that control other than the farmer himself, right? And that caution that has to be applied by the farmer only. So my question to the audience and my fellow panelists is that, can there be, or is there an existing way to avoid over extraction and limit the use of water just to the amount that is needed?
The only awareness that we can create with the farm. There is no other way to control the flow of water from a solar water pump.
उससे ऑटो कार्ड मीटर लग सकता है जी.
I will request Bashish sir to intervene related to the authority.
While making the opening address, I shared that standalone power sources, like we should not look towards the power sources. It may be the feeder getting power from the power utility or the solar pump. Smart technologies have to be built. So that means we need to bring in automation, whereby you club. So in a paddy field, we had to seeps in.
और जो किसान बाद में आई साथ में यूरिया जो डालते थे, तो एक बोरी यूरिया की, तो मेरा मतलब है ये एक हैवी मेटल नहीं होने चाहिए. और दूसरा है कि उनको रेनोवेट जरूर करना चाहिए. और कई स्टडीज़ हमने करी हैं सर, इसमें है कि सीवरेज वाटर को अलग से निकाला है, रेन वाटर को अलग से डाला है उसमें, मतलब चैनल सेपरेट कर दी और रेन वाटर वाली चैनल उसको बंद कर देते हैं, बरसात वाली को खोल देते हैं तो पौंड में आ जाता है सर. ऐसे भी मैकेनिज्म जो है बहुत जगह पे हमने ट्राई किए सॉइल कंजर्वेशन डिपार्टमेंट में, दे कैन बी यूज्ड.
I think those are very valuable inputs, and I think as a non-profit, what I understand from this is that we have the required technology, we have the required knowledge from the PAU. There is a lack in dissemination in the farmers knowing this, that sanu chaida moisture hai, odi flooding har samay nahi chahiਦੀ. And generally what we see in paddy, ਜਦੋਂ ਪਾਣੀ ਮਿਲਦਾ farmer ਨੂੰ flooding ਉਦੋਂ ਕਰ ਹੀ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ. ਜੇ flooding ਮਤਲਬ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਕੁਝ mm ਪਾਣੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਵੀ flooding ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ, right? So I think that awareness dissemination is a very key point that I understood from this, and I think that ends my note as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ajit. I have a question for Grewal sir, that he told that if there is a no trace metal pollution in the pond, so there is no issue. But if the domestic waste is going on to the pond, and if the nitrate levels mainly those escalate when there is the domestic waste or the, so I think it is not recommended even when the nitrate levels are very high to use that water. For any
टूर
purpose.
का पेपर है, टूर का
Okay.
PAU का प्रोफेसर है, उन्होंने बहुत सारे पॉन्ड्स जो है जिनमें ये हैवी मेटल का सिचुएशन नहीं था और उनको यूज़ किया है, उसमें बैक्टीरियल ग्रोथ है थोड़ी बहुत है, ये कोई बात नहीं है, लेकिन कई बार पे अगर आप सपोज कॉटन को यूज़ करते हो, कॉटन को, तो कॉटन आपने खानी तो नहीं है ना, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। ट्रीज में यूज़ करते हैं तो एग्रो फॉरेस्ट्री में कह रहे हैं यूज़ करनाल वाले कह रहे हैं कि एग्रो फॉरेस्ट्री में यूज़। मेरा मतलब है कि वहाँ पर PAU की वो स्टडी के हिसाब से उसका कोई मतलब जो है कंटेमिनेशन की प्रॉब्लम नहीं थी, वाटर क्वालिटी की मैं कह रहा हूँ।
Okay.
उनको क्लीन किया है, साफ किया है और उसके बाद रिटर्निंग वाले बनाए हैं, वीड रिमूव किए हैं और बहुत ज़्यादा फिर दूसरा है कि छोटा सा पोर्शन रख लिया जिसमें गंद मंद आगे खड़ा हो जाता है, फिर थोड़ा सा फिल्टर करके दूसरे में डाल दिया, ऐसे भी कर रहे हैं।
Small STP is also maybe an option.
Small.
Village wise about population of 2,000-3,000 4,000 people are there.
क्या मिला होया
Most of the area facility लाते हैं.
हैं?
Most of the Indian villages में
मतलब because I was just
use भी कर रहे हैं.
just studying about one underground tank, plastic tank is buried underground, and that is act as this one STP. No land is even wasted there. So small pumps are required only for installation of this STPs. So that may be a good option for the small villages. So they can get even treated water that is coming, and ponds can be used for rainwater.
Now, thank you, sir. Now I will request Bansal sir to say something about what is the trend of rising wells of solar powered pumps in southwest Punjab. So are they increasing or there is more demand for those, or
There is a demand, but actually there is a price difference now. The government is pursuing with the DCR module. The price difference is around 18 to 20 rupees per watt. And in open market, the modules are available without DCR content. They are much cheaper than the DCR. And the farmers are actually, the marketing is more from the private sector, and they are adopting that technology. That is why the people are not coming, the farmers are not coming with PADA. They are buying directly from the private sector.
but there is a increasing trend
But there is an ingredient.
for the solar. So it is no doubt it is good for the environment also. So so it is a positive sign that they are going for this. But as the it will lead to the more number of structures, groundwater structures, and as there is the water resources issue now, because the Manoj Bansal sir, it is the nodal agency of the all hydrology projects and national hydrology project also, and it is also doing on the integrated water resource management for the Punjab. So where do you see the future of water resources with the increasing number of groundwater structures in Punjab?
So it is already in the whole of the state, the declining rate is 0.8 meter per year.
It is average for all states.
Yes, 0.8 meter. And for the certain area, it is more than 1.5 meter.
5 meter.
Per year. Two places I have checked recently, Dirba and Pagta. Their last 10-year drop is more than 17 meter. This kind of drop is going on and on and on.
But these are, I think these are only for the few isolated places. So we cannot.
I am saying that whole, so that up to 20% can be saved.
It's a demand management is
That will be equal to that also. Total will be 10 BCM, and total deficit in the state as of now is only 11 BCM. 16 to 17 is going to be recharged, and 28 now we are dying out of that. That 11 has to be saved.
So this means all, as per discussion is coming out, it should be the judicious and scientific use of groundwater.
Scientific use
As we have to see the soil conditions and we have to see the other crop requirements.
Sir, second, the recharge work has to be done on massive scale, especially in the Kandi area. There, the rainfall is up to 2 times the average, and the soil quality is also very good for the recharge. Now, presently, water sources have taken up a drive, and we are constructing up to 1,000 check dams out of 6 districts, and we are going on massive scale to install the check dams, and for that we have devised some kind of strategy, because when we come to the low-lying drains, there the levels do not allow for a check dam. People generally fear that the drain will spill over. Check dam will raise the level and the drain will spill over. For that we devised that we went somewhat upstream in the semi-hilly area. There we are locating the dam, because there normally there is no opposition. That strategy we will see in 2-3 years what be the result, but that can be done, and if we are not doing that, then we are going to fail. That is for sure.
Sir, I want
Yes.
Just 1 or 2 points.
Yes, please.
एक तो कंडी एरिया के जितने वाटर कोर्सेज हैं वो प्राइवेट लैंड है, सरकारी नहीं है। और मेरा अपना 20-25 साल से मैं देख रहा हूँ, सॉइल कंजर्वेशन के बहुत काम किए थे, डिफरेंट प्रोजेक्ट चले हैं बहुत ज़्यादा, और उसके बाद एक लंटाना आया है वहाँ, लार्ज स्केल इन्फेस्टेशन ऑफ लंटाना ने
कांग्रेस ग्रास
सारे बेयर स्लोप्स कवर कर दिए। सॉइल कंजर्वेशन वर्क्स प्लस वेजिटेशन कवर विद लंटाना। अब वो चो थे, बाई गॉड मैं कहता हूँ कि छोटे छोटे नाले बन गए हैं और दोनों साइड में पॉपुलर ही पॉपुलर खड़ा है। किसानों ने, आप होशियारपुर में जाके देखो, इतना आपको पेड़ नजर आएंगे, वो सिंपली बिकॉज कि वो चो जो हैं वो श्रिंक हो गए हैं बिकॉज ऑफ द ट्रीटमेंट और लंटाना, और उसके बाद फिर उसमें एग्रो फॉरेस्ट्री बहुत लार्ज स्केल में आई है। बट सेकेंडली जो ये बात कह रहे हैं कि हमने भी जब काम कर रहे थे तो जो अपर एरिया की बात कर रहे थे तो फॉरेस्ट एरिया है। फॉरेस्ट एरिया जो है जंगलात वाले किसी को बढ़ने नहीं देते। जंगलात वाले कहते हैं डैम लगाना है तो मैं लगा दूंगा मैं लगा दूंगा, पैसे जमा करवा दो, मतलब ये टेंडेंसी है। और उस एरिया में आई अंडरस्टैंड के मैं 4-5 बड़े आपके जो चक साधु है 5-6 मैं साइटों में जाके, देयर इज ए स्कोप ऑफ चेक डैम्स है, मैं मानता हूँ, लेकिन वो फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट जो है आपको करने नहीं देगा। फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट के साथ ही करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि उनके जो रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन है दे डोंट अलाउ। दूसरी बात है कि उस बहुत सारा एरिया है जहाँ पर पहले स्टोन मिलते थे, अब स्टोन नहीं मिल रहे हैं, तो मैसनरी स्ट्रक्चर ही ज़्यादा बनाने पड़ेंगे। आपने 5-5, 6-6 मीटर के आरसीसी के स्ट्रक्चर बनाए हैं, वो पत्थरों वाले स्ट्रक्चर से बहुत बढ़िया थे और कम खर्चे से बन रहे थे। तो ये काफ़ी सारी चेंजेस आएंगी कि अगर आप ग्रेविटी वाले डैम बनाएंगे, बहुत सारे पत्थर यूज़ करके बनाएंगे, फिर पत्थर है ही नहीं है, पहले होते थे पर अब नहीं है। तो इस तरह से जो चेक डैमिंग का भी मतलब मैं तो यही काम करता रहा हूँ सारी उम्र, प्लान करना और सीरीज़ में बनाना। पहले छोटे लगते हैं, फिर बड़े लगते हैं, पहले अकेले ही लगते हैं, उनको हम ड्राई स्टोन के बोलते हैं, तो फिर क्रेट के लगते हैं, फिर मैसनरी के लगते हैं, सीरीज़ में लगते हैं। तो ये अच्छा वर्क है, पर मेरे ख्याल में फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट के साथ करना पड़ेगा और कई जगह पे बहुत ज़्यादा आपने बड़े बड़े डैम तो आप ही ने लगा रखे हैं, दौलवाहा, जनौरी, ये सारे जो है बहुत सिल्ट कर रहे हैं, बड़ी रैपिडली सिल्ट कर रहे हैं। उनके पीछे सॉइल कंजर्वेशन के काम बहुत करने वाले हैं। मेले में जाके देखो, ये यहाँ अपना चंडीगढ़ के पास देखो तो कितनी ज़्यादा सिल्ट आ गई है। सिस्मा, तो ये कैचमेंट एरिया की ट्रीटमेंट डिपार्टमेंट के विदाउट करना बड़ा मुश्किल है। थैंक यू वेरी मच। डिपार्टमेंट के विदाउट करना बड़ा मुश्किल है। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
I just want to supplement. When I joined as Chief Conservator Soil, so I got the list of all the check dams जो 3 मीटर 5 मीटर जितने बने थे सारे. So 90% of those are silted, up to 90%. जितने चेक डैम लगाए उसमें से 90% सिल्टेड हैं और उसकी कैपेसिटी जितनी थी वो भी 90% सिल्टेड है. So we tried to get in touch with certain contractors to desilt those. The issue is the disposal of the desilted soil. अगर तो आपका कोई national highway, there's some national highway project running somewhere nearby, then it is viable. In case you cannot dispose of the soil, then it becomes unviable. Same is the case with Water Resources Department. I think they also started they plan to desilt their dams in Kandi. So again, because of non-viability of disposal of the soil, although it is a very good quality soil, so that is the biggest issue.
एक्चुअली जो पूरे पंजाब में क्या है कि पूरी पैडी लग रही है, पैडी को उतना ही वाटर कॉलम चाहिए, उतनी ही एक्सट्रैक्शन है पूरे पंजाब में पैडी का. लेकिन व्हाट इज़ द सिनेरियो इन अमृतसर, गुरदासपुर एंड इन साउथ वेस्ट पंजाब कि हमारे पास वाटर का जो अवेलेबिलिटी है एक्सट्रैक्ट कर लिया, उसके बाद वाटर रिवर से रिचार्ज हो रहा है. साउथ वेस्ट में क्या कैनाल से रिचार्ज हो रहा है. बट व्हाट इज़ हैपनिंग इन मोगा एंड इन संगरूर एरिया, हमारे पास रेन नहीं होता है बहुत ज़्यादा. उत्थे रेन का की है हार्डली 500 mm एंड ऑल द रेन है. तो उस एरिया के विच की है जी अपनी अपर लेयर है दैट इज़ फुली सैंडी, नीचे भी बहुत ज़्यादा क्ले लेयर्स नहीं है अपने. तो जिन्नी भी कोई रेन हो रही है वो कुछ तो रन ऑफ चला गया, कुछ ही पैनीट्रेट होता है. तो जे उस एरिया के विच वी गो ऑन इंक्रीजिंग द रिचार्ज थ्रू आइदर कैनाल, बिकॉज रेनफॉल नहीं है, इट्स ओनली द कैनाल. जिमें PWRD ने हुनी असी एक पेलियो चैनल डिटरमाइन किया इन भवानीगढ़ एंड ਉਹਦੇ पेलियो चैनल के उपर ਜਿਹੜੇ माइनर सी ਉਹਦੇ थ्रू PWRD ने इनफिल्ट्रेशन वेल कंस्ट्रक्ट करके वाटर ड्रॉप किया. दैन वट वी हैव सीन कि 4.2 किलोमीटर डिस्टेंस से असी कंस्ट्रक्शन कराई है ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉੱਪਰ वेडोस जोन सी 7 मीटर ਤੇ देयर इज़ अ प्रॉपर पेलियो चैनल. ਉਹਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ पूरा ਜਿਹੜਾ वाटर मॉइस्चर आ गया जो नहीं ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ क्योंकि ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ भी ड्रिलिंग कराई है. सो इट्स द थिंक कि जे ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ रिचार्ज करिए थोड़ा तो अपना वाटर लेवल बहुत नीचे नहीं जाएगा. ਹੁਣ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ टू योर सरप्राइज आई विल टेल यू कि अटारी ब्लॉक ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ड्रॉ डाउन ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਦਾ ਹੈਵੀਲੀ ਡੈਂਸਲੀ ਪੋਪੂਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਹੈ, ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਇਧਰ ਵਾਗਾ ਬਾਰਡਰ ਹੱਦੀ ਤੋਂ ਰਤਨ ਤੇ ਕੱਕੜ ਕਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਉੱਥੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਵਾਟਰ ਲੈਵਲ ਬਾਰਡਰ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਡਾਊਨ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ क्योंकि उत्थे एग्रीकल्चर एक्टिविटी इंटेंसली अक्रॉस द फेंसिंग भी हो रही है. लेकिन वो रिकूप कर रहा है क्यों? क्योंकि रावी रिवर उन्ना वो दे रही है. जब असीं देखिया कि जब रावी रिवर का फ्लो घटिया है, अदों जो वाटर लैवल की रिकूपमेंट लैवल है वो भी घटी है. तो इट्स जस्ट रिचार्ज. तो गोपाल सर आई थिंक कि इफ वी यूज द सोलर पंप फॉर रिचार्जिंग पर्पज, more for the recharging purpose, so I think it will be a viable use of the solar energy also, na, for supplying all the water from the canals to the recharge structures. So that's why
levels. So this just yes.
डॉक्टर कपिल, रिसर्च पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से ये जो आप प्रोजेक्ट लेना चाह रहे हैं, ग्राउंड वाटर को कैसे मॉनिटर?
नहीं, ये प्रोजेक्ट नहीं है सर, ये इसकी स्टडी है.
हाँ स्टडी है. हाँ. जो स्टडी है, स्टडी में मैं भी इसी पे राजस्थान में काम कर रहा हूँ. मेरे पास 40 वेल थे, मैं वेल ऑब्जर्वेशन 40 के 40 वेल सूख गए मेरे. वो उस एरिया की बात कर रहा हूँ. 200 डैम लगाए मैंने उस एरिया में. एक विशेष साहब को थोड़ा मैं बताना चाह रहा था, मैं अपना एक्सपीरियंस. 200 डैम में से वो सिल्ट की लेयर आ गई ऊपर, तो रिचार्ज करना बंद हो गया, एवेपोरेशन हो गई. तो हमने ओनली 30 सेंटीमीटर टॉप जो है वो रिमूव किया रिमूव करके डैम को रेनोवेट कर दिया, झुंड झंड थे वो इधर उधर, उसको भी बिल्कुल नया कर दिया उसको, और उसका अब्रप्टली ग्राउंड वाटर रिचार्ज बढ़ गया, वो हमारे पास डाटा इंडिकेट कर रहा। तो हम मेजर डिसिल्टेशन नहीं, लेकिन 30 सेंटीमीटर को ऊपर वाली सिल्ट लेयर को हम पार कर दें तो उसके रिचार्ज बढ़ जाता है। सेकेंडली, अगर हम उन डैम्स को जो बने हुए हैं, अगर उसका चलो फ्लड कंट्रोल तो है ही, उसके पेरिफेरल एरिया में इतनी वेजिटेशन आई है, क्योंकि पानी दूर तक फैलता है, इतना फॉरेस्ट बढ़िया जिसको रिम एरिया बोलते हैं, वहाँ पर बहुत अच्छी वेजिटेशन भी आई है। लेकिन मैं समझता हूँ कि अगर मेरे को देखना, थोड़े बहुत डीसिल्ट करके उनकी जो अब बहुत ज़्यादा रिचार्ज नहीं कर रहे हैं क्योंकि सिल्ट आ गई है, तो वो भी पॉसिबिलिटी देखनी चाहिए। बट मेरा जो आपसे क्वेश्चन है कि ग्राउंड वाटर के ऊपर जो इफेक्ट है इन टर्म्स ऑफ डाटा लेंगे आप, कितना राइज हुआ कितना फॉल हुआ, वो उसको कैप्चर करना बड़ा मुश्किल होगा, क्योंकि ये वर्क जो है स्कैटर्ड होगा, नॉट एट वन प्लेस कि आपने यू हैव पुट 200 एट वन प्लेस एंड इवन देन इट विल बी वेरी पॉसिबल बिकॉज वाटर विल टेबल विल गो ऑन फ्लक्चुएटिंग, ड्रा डाउन हुआ दूसरी जगह से फिर पानी आ गया, तो उसको हाउ टू टेक्निकली ग्राउंड वाटर, इसका इम्पैक्ट ऑन ग्राउंड वाटर कैसे करेंगे, वो थोड़ा सा मेरे को लगता है कि शायद दैट विल बी ए प्रॉब्लम। पता नहीं आपने कोई मतलब ऐसा, क्योंकि स्कैटर्ड वर्क होगा, थोड़ा थोड़ा होगा, एक जगह कंसनट्रेटेड नहीं होगा, तो उसमें कहें कि जो ग्राउंड वाटर कम हो गया है, ग्राउंड वाटर बढ़ गया है, ये चीज़ें पकड़ना थोड़ा सा मुश्किल होगा, मेरा अपना विचार है।
ठीक है सर, थैंक यू फॉर योर नाइस सजेशन. So actually for that region we see the aquifer geometry or all these things, and then we can see the how the aquifer is extending from one place to the other place. Is it the same aquifer, or it is a connected aquifer, or it is in isolated aquifer? So if it is in isolated aquifer, so we cannot give the total, you can say, conclusion for entire area, because for if it is a localized aquifer, so it will not represent the area. But if it is a connecting aquifer, so that will suddenly, surely it will affect the neighboring areas also. So we have to find out those places where there is the interconnection, either it is horizontally connected or it is laterally connected. So if we know both these connections, so we can come to some time of some type of conclusions. Otherwise, it will be of no use. Just like identifying a elephant by the 6 blind people. So it should not be like that. So it should be a comprehensive, and you can say we can see from the all angles. So this we will try to do, and your suggestion is well taken up, sir. So now I will request Pawan Kapoor sir. He has been working in the groundwater or the tubewell department since I think long. So have you seen any difference in the if you see the groundwater levels are going down and deeper? You can see any part of the Punjab like Majha, Doaba, or in the Malwa region.
France. I saw him eating chapatis there. I'm eating chapatis only here. So I'm eating chapatis only here. So as a PhD student, I think we encourage you that you study their possibilities, bring out good results. So where they will work, where they don't work, and then field experiences should be placed before, and a good review also, and that will be useful. Thank you very much.
His research will give some outputs, and that will be beneficial to the state.
Yes, sir,
Definitely.
yes, sir, surely.
One point for you, Guliam. I'm pronouncing it right?
Gyum.
Okay, good. Gyum, you see, one mapping of your irradiance will definitely help the state. So in case you can do that and correlate that with the groundwater data, that will be very helpful. Secondly, as Garival sir put it, that the kind of failures and the kind of designs, at times the solar pumps are over designed, how they are behaving, and then if they are under designed, then how they are behaving. I'm talking about the capacities. So how to optimize that? So that should be the outcome of your study. So that will be really helpful for the state, whether it is standalone or grid based. So all the scope is very, very limited here. But in case you can also sit with the PEDA, which is the nodal agency for this solarization, the green energies in Punjab, and study the possibility of solarization of the power feeders. You see, one, in case the power feeders are solarized, it will not only save the power subsidy, which is free to the farmers. It will save the power subsidy because you will be utilizing the solar power. Secondly, the decarbonization which is happening will be beneficial. And one aspect which is missing in your presentation is the carbon credits. So in case the farmers on a feeder which is solarized, they opt for high energy rating pumps and the solar powered feeder, they should be offered the carbon credits. So that will be additional benefit and a kind of incentive for the farmers to shift from power forward these electrical pumps to solar powered pumps. So I think this is mainly, sizing is really important. For your information, the climate change aspect has not been discussed. So I'll just give you some insight into the climate change and the relationship with the power demand for irrigation sector in Punjab. I have a comparison of 2021-22 and 2022-23. So these 2 years of power demand comparison is there, and how this climate change or the crop change is impacting the power demand. During the month of April and May, the power demand increased by 34% in April and 23% in May because of an additional crop, which is the summer maize, which the farmers are growing for fodder purposes. So this is an additional crop from wheat and paddy, which the farmers grow. So plus 34 and plus 23% power during April and May. During August, September, October, November, the power demand again increased. These are period, Rabi crop, this is the Rabi season. During August, the power demand was, these are the Kharif seasons, and paddy is grown during this period. During August, it was 11% plus, September it was 34% plus, and October it was 25% plus. So these are monsoon months. The power demand should be lower, but here it is increasing. So this is deficient rains, because this is the monsoon season, Kharif season, and paddy is grown during this time. So excessive water was withdrawn, groundwater was withdrawn, and the power demand for the irrigation sector increased there. And then during November, October and November, which are the harvesting season for the Kharif crop, which is the paddy. So this power demand increased by 25% during October, and during November it increased by 41%. So this is because of the extended Kharif season, because farmers tried to take two crops. So there was a late sown variety of paddy which was harvested either in end of October or November. So additional irrigations were there. So now we come to the Rabi season, which is the winter months, January and February. The power demand has increased by 333% in January, 333% in January, and February it was 123% plus. So this was because of and high temperatures. So the wheat crop required additional irrigation. So this is the impact of climate change on power demand. Here the solarization of the power feeder will really help, because these kind of vagaries will be there and the power demand will keep on increasing. So here the solarization of, so I think the crux of the matter is that feeder should be solarized instead of standalone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I think these suggestions will be quite helpful for Guillaume for his formulating or synthesizing his research problems. So you can add these.
आप तो पैडी से डर रहे हैं, ये मक्की आ रही है इतनी ज़्यादा कि हाँ मैं अपने गांव में गया था, एकड़ गया था वो समर मक्की में आजकल करके हो गया हाँ समर में पैडी को छोड़ो ये और During this time, it will, how many irrigation it will prepare?
हाँ नहीं सही बात है सो
ਸਰ ਇੱਕ ਸਜੈਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਰ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਸਰ ਬੋਲੋ
ਅੱਗੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਟੱਡੀ ਜੇ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾਲ ਜੋ IoT ਡਿਵਾਈਸਿਸ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇੰਟੀਗ੍ਰੇਟ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਤਾਂ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਇੱਕ ਸਟੱਡੀ ਹੋਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਏ
okay note down this point Gyum we put the smart technologies IoT internet things
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸੈਂਪਲ ਸਟੱਡੀ ਬਰੋ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗੀ
ठीक
ਜਾਣਾ ਤਾਂ
Another thing is, जो पहला fail हुए थे, the failure of solar pumps which were earlier installed is majorly due to the head problem, the operating head. Actually, in farm tanks, low head pumps are required. For groundwater extraction, high head pumps are required. I think Bansalji know this problem just occurred 2-3 years back. In farm storage tanks, the pumps which were installed, those were high head pumps. But
Vishesh sir, the problem is not with high or low efficiency, or the problem is basically efficiency problem comes from installation of wrong head pumps. When a high head pump is installed on say farm water storage tank, the water output is very little. So vice versa happens when low head pump is installed on groundwater pump. So in your study, do focus whenever you study a solar pump which has been installed. Is it giving proper water output? The problem lies not only with the number of solar panels installed. The problem lies with the pump set used. Pump set is high head or low head. Earlier there, I think for up to 10 meters or 20 meters surface pump is used, but now 20 meters is a great good depth, so use of surface pump for 20 meters is not at all recommended, but this is a case up till 10 or 20 meters surface pump is used, but instead some other pump needs to be used. Do focus on that aspect also.
thank you very much and now I think we should move towards the conclusion of this session also. So before concluding the session, I will now request Chief Guest Sir Bansal Sir to present the mementos to all the panelists. So first I will request Bansal Sir to give the mementos to Shri Pawan Kapoor ji, Engineer Pawan Kapoor. उधर चलो ओके यहाँ से नहीं ऐसे चलो यहाँ से नहीं ले सकते आप नहीं यहाँ से ले लो Thank you, sir. Now I will request sir to hand over mementos to Shri Grewal sir. Thank you, sir. Now I will request to hand over the mementos to Shri Bansal sir. Manoj Bansal. Thank you, sir. Now I will request you to hand over the memento to Ms. Aman. Sir, now I will request to hand in the memento to Shri Ajit Barar. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So now I will request Vasish sir to present the mementos to the participants also. So since they are here since last 3 days, and please. To start from Ms. Nema, sir. Actually, it is just remembrance. So that we can again meet on our next workshop. Actually, we were planning to do for workshop for other objective, but the now objective of Mr. Gume has come in, so we are focused on. And I will request all the participants to tell their heads when we send the nominations. Please send the nominations earlier. Otherwise, we are just reminding you send the nominations and all this. So I will request all. So our next will be after 2-3 months. There will be next workshop. हाँ निकाल दो कोई बात नहीं बस हाँ now to Miss Nema, she is the scientist C at Center Groundwater Board. Thank you, sir. Now I will request to send the memento to Shri Nayab Mittal ji from PEDA. हाँ यहीं रख दो आप. Thank you. To now I will request to I don't know, so please. Yeah, you are from PEDA also. Yes, please. Sir, please आइए. Yes, I know, superintending engineer. And now agriculture team, I know Valia ji and Jaswant ji, हाँ. Jaspal Singh ji. Jaswant ji तो director है. हाँ जी, Jaspal जी. हाँ जी वाले जी. हाँ जी आज ही जी सर ट्यूबवेल डिपार्टमेंट से. हाँ जी नहीं एक्चुअली now from water resources department core management. Yes, आइए I will now request Vasishtha to our Devanshi ji, who is working, Rajkumar Devanshi, he is a research assistant. Chaudhary Sahab abhi le lo. So I will now request to Sri Jagdish Chaudhary ji to make it official. So thank you very much, sir. And this has now this has come to now end. And once again, I will thank all the panelists, chief guest, and all the participants to spare their valuable time and attended this workshop and provided their useful suggestions to Mr. Gume. So I am sure that Gume will surely implement these and address these issues and try to incorporate all these in his for synthesizing his research work. So once again, thank you very much, and we will see you soon for our next workshop in coming months. So and now this session will be. अच्छा वो सर बशीर सर कहाँ गए अभी हमारे के उनको दे दो ग्यूम को भी दे दो ग्यूम रह गए वो सर सर आ जाओ ग्यूम उसके पीछे तो सारा काम हुआ है
more of input for the
So thank you very much. Now this session, there will be lunch after this session. So lunch will be at the same venue where there was tea. So after lunch, you can leave to your respective places. Thank you very much.